Well, hello, BWJ agents. Happy hump day, Wednesday. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me today? I always double check, make sure my microphone is working great, great, great. Great to see you all here. Welcome to Curt, the Booking Advisor Show. Glad to see y'all here. Charmaine, hello. Whitney, how you doing? Montiel. Marianne, good afternoon. Audrey, Tammy, hello. Lisa, glad to see you. Rose, Amy's here. I see Rochelle. Jessica, how you doing? Nancy's here. Uh, hey, we have somebody named Zoom user here. All right. Can we just call you Z? Okay. Benita, hello, right back at you. Maurice, Barbara's here. All right, she wants to learn something. I hope I can help you. Michelle, Trim, Viola. Wow, Viola. I haven't heard that name in a long time. That was my grandmother's name, Viola. Everyone called her Vi for short. Lisa, you're here. Thanks for coming. All right. So, what is going on? Before we get started, how many of you are new within the last week or two? Just let me know in the chat. How many of you are just so brand new last week or two? And maybe you haven't even seen one of my live booking support calls. Anybody like really new? Okay, Marianne's new. Marianne, okay, cool. Montel, welcome. Hey, Derek, glad you're here. Glad to have you on board here at BWJ Travel. Lisa, glad to see that you're here as well. Corey, let's see, Alma. Nicole is new. Hi, Nicole. Glad to have you on the chat or on the Zoom call with us. Right on. Derek, stoked to be here. Great. You know what? I'm stoked to be here too. Okay, so we always start these meetings out with me telling you who I am. In fact, before we get started, let me show you our agenda for today. Where is it? Headlines. Where's my agenda? Here it is. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. And this is what we do every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll start with an introduction of me. Who am I? Where I come from, and how did I get here? And so I always start these meetings out with that, especially because so many of you are new, and you don't know me. So I'll spend a couple of minutes discussing who I am and how I got here. We're going to have a Q&A. Okay, so you already noticed there is a Q&A section here, and I need for you to make sure that you input your questions into the Q&A section. Okay, now I want you to understand that the questions that we can address today are only booking related tips, tricks, shortcuts, and more. That's what this show is all about. So make sure that the questions you put in the Q&A section are related to bookings and bookings only. I am a booking advisor, and the only time that you should be contacting me or we should be talking with each other, whether it be on a call or email or phone or what have you, is after you've contacted a client. Before you have made contact to a client, you should be reaching out to our support team. Okay. So I will not be addressing any questions in the Q&A section or even in the chat that have anything to do with support related. We just don't have enough time here, and we've got an awesome support team and a bunch of them available for you on a daily basis. Okay. What else are we going to do here? So after our Q&A, we're going to talk. This is my subject matter today, or for the agenda, and it's how to help yourself to find answers to questions quick. Every weekend, I talked about this Tuesday. I don't work weekends. I'm a little bit. I do here and there, but for the most part, I don't. So on Monday morning, when I go look at my emails, there are so many questions that people are asking, agents are asking, which could easily be found with just a couple of minutes of researching. So we're going to talk about that today. Okay, that's going to be our subject matter. We'll then do some more Q&A. All right. Towards the end of the call, I always try to answer every question as long as it's booking related in the Q&A section as I can. If I can't answer your question, if there's something that you throw at me that I don't know about, then I'll make a note of it, or you can reach out to me via email and we can resolve it. Okay, no problem. So, and then after that, we will wrap it up for the day. Okay. All right, that's what's going on. Okay, so introduction. Who am I? And how did I get here? Wow, it's been quite the adventure for me. Honestly, I retired at 58. I've been a business owner for 25 years, something like that. I got bored after a couple of years. And this is right towards the back end of COVID, which was boring anyway. And I searched around for something to do. And I have some experience booking my own travel for many, many, many years, and that of my family and friends. And so, I don't know, I was digging around on the internet and I saw these opportunities for to be a travel agent. And so I did some research and I found Jacob and Edwin and I found BWJ. And after my due diligence, I chose them. And I'm glad I did. It's been a heck of a year. I have done extremely well. In fact, if you look right here, those of you who are new, what is this? Who's my travels guy? What's going on here? I thought I was at a BWJ Zoom meeting. You are, but you're listening to and you're seeing a BWJ agent. That's just, I do that. That's what I do. I do the same thing that you're doing. I came here the same way that you did. I started out learning how to navigate and create quotes and send them and book trips one supplier at a time. And this is some of the things we're going to be talking about today. I started kind of slowly. First, I told all my friends and family, and those were amongst my first bookings. I was nervous reaching out to the BWJ client base because I just didn't feel like I knew enough. I didn't have the confidence that I thought I needed. So I got lucky, and I had quite a few friends and family help me gain that confidence by booking trips for them. And then since then, I have decided to kick this all up another notch. So, and I won't get too much into this today. I will be spending time in future meetings sharing with you some of the things I do outside of the client list to increase my my commissions and my income. Okay, so we'll talk about that at another time. But that's who I am. My travels guy is my logo. I've chose to, like I said, take this another step. I've got a website. I've got social media going on. My own branding and a little bit of my own marketing. And so that's who I am. That's what's going on. All right, so let's get started. And welcome everybody, especially those of you who are new, but welcome to everybody. Let's look at the Q&A section here. You're welcome to type a question in there at any time during the course this next hour. Okay, Sherry, you're asking a question, and I'm going to. This is an example of sort of booking related, but we're gonna be discussing how to help yourself, how to find answers to questions like. And Sherry's asking, how do you add a trip in the shopping cart on Vax to see payment plan options? So Sherry, I'm not ignoring you. I read your question and I see it, but I'm not going to answer it quite yet because we're actually going to talk about that here on this call. Okay. Did I say Tuesday, Abel? Today is Thursday, right? Did I say Tuesday or something? If I did, sorry. It's been a busy day. Okay. What do we got here? This is okay. Giselle Garcia, you would like to request assistance finding my family or a hotel or a place to stay in La Patrona, Costa Rica. Okay, I want you to pay attention to Giselle, our subject matter today. Okay, and then if you need booking related support, you will be able to email me, and my contact information will be shown to you guys at the end of this meeting. Okay. Uh, okay. Alma, this is a support related question, but she's asking, do we still use tests? So we used to have a different CRM that we used, and thanks to the incredible hard work of Edwin and Jacob and their team, we've moved on to a different CRM, and everything is integrated in one place, and that's your agent dashboard. So no, we don't use tests anymore. Answer. Okay. Barbara, she's asking, how did you make that great website? It has everything. Okay. So again, this is something I'm going to cover in future calls, but I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out here. And that is the URL for my website. You're welcome to take a look at it, find inspiration. If there's anything in there you think you'd like to do for your website, if you're going to create a website, you're welcome to go there and check it out. I'm going to put it in the URL in the chat. Okay. There you go. Nancy, we're going to talk about, well, not so much talk about this. So I'm going to answer this question. Giselle, you said you did research and you want to make sure I'm finding the best deal across the suppliers before proceeding with their final decision and booking. Thank you. So pretty consistently throughout your travel agent academy and the videos, and also on our calls, Jacob's calls and mine, regarding bookings and booking advice. It's really simple. Well, if you're getting started, it can seem a little overwhelming, but the concept is simple. You want to really take the time to look at, search, and compare an itinerary that you're or a trip that you're working on in 3 suppliers. You want to check them out in Vax or Apple Vacations and spend time in there. You want to looking at the options that are available there for the trip you're working on, and then also Expedia Tap. With both of those, you can package, right? Put together the flight and the hotel and the car rental if necessary. And then you have our preferred hotel supplier, which is Beds Online. So I encourage you to look at all 3 and then determine which one of those 3 are offering the best options, the best rates, and in some cases, the best commissions for you. Okay. That's how you do that. And it's not a process that, you can just knock out in 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes a little bit of research. to get to that answer of what's the best option, what's the best rate, and who's providing the best commission. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Nancy. Maurice is asking, when's the best time to call prospective clients? We answered that in last week's call. And by the way, don't forget, especially those of you who are brand new, you know, all these calls are recorded, right? They're recorded and they're in your agent dashboard under the heading training. You can go back and review all of our live Zoom calls, okay? Anyway, the best time to call prospective clients, Maurice, depends on where you live. So if I'm living in the East Coast and I want to get started at 9 o'clock in the morning, what time is it on the West Coast? This is an easy question. If it's 9 a.m. on the East Coast, it's going to be 6 a.m. on the West Coast. So if you're on the East Coast, do you want to pick up the phone and start calling people at 6 a.m. on the West Coast? You don't. Now, the challenge here is, and I've talked about this before, is, you know, people, they move to different time zones and then they keep their same cell phone number. So it's very difficult to determine, you know, who is what and where. So depending upon your time zone, just try to make it so that no matter where you call in the United States, it's not going to be, I don't know, before 9 a.m. maybe, and it's not going to be past 5 or 6 p.m. Okay, so you just have to determine that based on where you live. What? Okay, let's go ahead and move into our subject matter. What should you be doing if you're just getting started, or even if you've been an agent for a while? I'm going to throw this question out there for those of you who've been with us a little bit. What would you tell a brand new agent who's just been here a week? What would you suggest to them that they should be doing right now to get started? I wonder if anyone can give me a couple of examples. I'll give you a second or two. And then, of course, I'm going to share some things with you. Training videos, Sherry and Maurice, yeah, practicing on, oh, Alicia, we're about to talk about that. Yes, practicing, practice. Cynthia, testing out the sites, fantastic, great. Training. Oh, I'm loving this. Anybody else? What do you think? What are some of the things a brand new agent ought to be doing to get started? Yeah, great. Okay, pray, David, pray. Come on now. Watching these meetings. Yes, that's a good one. Just do it. I like that. I say that a lot. Research. Amy kind of nailed it on the head right there. And then we're going to move right along. We talked about this on my last call, and I asked agents in the chat to tell me what they believe is the most important aspect of, or the most important skill to have as a travel agent. And that is the ability to research, okay? And that doesn't just affect the researching, that doesn't just apply to researching for your clients. It applies to researching for you. When you need answers to questions and our support team is loaded up on a particular day and you're having trouble getting through, or you request a meeting with me and I'm booked, you know, for the next day or two, some of the questions that we get can easily be found and are provided for you in different ways. And we're going to go over that right now. Before we get started on that, I'm going to check something. I'm going to share my screen real quick. And I want to ask you, when I share the screen, are you able to hear the video? Okay, so one moment. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. All right. Everybody see my screen? And I'm just going to play just a couple of seconds of this video. Tell me if you hear the sound.
Hello and welcome to Luxscape. In this video, we will be giving you a full tour and finish off with an honest, unbiased review of the Nickelodeon Resort Riviera Maya. Be sure to stay till the end to see if it's worth the stay. Nickelodeon Resorts and Hotels Riviera Maya by Charisma is an all-inclusive, family-friendly destination featuring 280 ocean view suites, 6 restaurants, and the 6-acre Aqua Nick water park.
Okay. Why did I share that? Well, 2 reasons. I was just testing. I always like to make sure that the sound is working right. You know, technology is wonderful, but every once in a while it doesn't work perfectly. The other reason I have that video I shared with you for just a second is I was actually looking this up for a client, and I want to share with you this crazy place that I never knew even existed. It's an all-inclusive resort, and there's 2 of them, one in Punta Cana and the other in Riviera Maya, Mexico, near Cancun. And it's the Nickelodeon Resorts. When families arrive at this all-inclusive beach resort, they're greeted by SpongeBob SquarePants. Are you kidding me? Isn't so in case you didn't know that existed, there you go. Now you know. It's incredible. The other reason I showed you this video is because, you know, I didn't know a lot about a lot when I started. And so the first thing that I did was to review the videos in the BWJ Travel Academy. And I'm going to tell you something. I've been doing this over a year. I've done extremely well, but I still go back and refer to some of those videos because there's a lot. There's a lot there, and you'd be surprised how you go back later and pick up things you thought you thought you retained. So I'm suggesting that you review those videos in the BWJ Travel Academy. Now, let me share my screen with you again and watch how simple it is to find this stuff. By the way, I encourage you to hang out with Jacob on Wednesdays for his, and I'm sorry, Edwin on Wednesdays for his Zoom meetings where he specifically takes the time to share and how to use this dashboard and some other things. Okay, but anyway, check it out. Where do I go to find the Travel Academy videos so I can review them again? Well, here's what you do. This is your agent dashboard. Right up here in the corner would be your face, if you your picture, if you have it there. But you click on that and you hit help. You just click on help. Okay, and you arrive right here. Now look, working with clients, how to use the BWJ's portal, the agent profiler. Okay, but where do we find the training videos? I'll show you. Watch this. We're going to go to community, to the BWJ Exchange, and watch this. Look right here. Travel Agent Academy. Here's all the videos for you to review them. I encourage you to go back there and take some time to review them and continue to get better at your craft all the time. Okay. In fact, I encourage you to spend a lot of time in here on a daily, if not weekly basis, and check out what, especially this area right here, frequently asked questions for new agents. Okay. But this is an opportunity for you all to discuss amongst yourselves, but also research and find answers to questions that you have been waiting for all afternoon when it's all right here. Here's one I get all the time. What is the agency number to put in the VAX when you log in each time? And it's just right here. Okay. Bam. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So great stuff. I encourage you to spend time in there. Okay. What else? Oh, as you request access to suppliers, once you've received your login credentials, right, what you're going to do, what I encourage you to do, is to go to those suppliers one at a time and go to their training sections, or training academies in some cases. I'm going to show you how to find one here in just a second, and spend time inside each of the suppliers' training areas. They're all different. There's no way that we can deliver to you every single aspect of how to operate within a website, a supplier's website, but they have it. And so using your skills of research, watch how you do this. So here I am at Expedia Tap. And, I had a question earlier today about, what was it? Something about, trying to understand how to do payments inside Tap as you're trying to finalize a reservation. So rather than wait for the answer to that, you can just go here. So here's where you go. I'm going to click the Tap menu here. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. Support. Okay. Click on support here at Expedia Tap and check out what we got. These are help articles. Okay. And many of the questions that I'm asked on a daily basis are all right here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of questions can be answered in the BWJ Exchange and in the help section in your agent dashboard. But if you're got a question that's explicitly about or specifically about Expedia Tap, this is the place to go. Now, check this out. See where it says Visit Tap Academy. Oh man, this is so awesome. All right, so what we're going to do, okay, so once you get into the Tap Academy, all right, you can start to learn about getting started, step-by-step guides. Okay, look at this. Properties, making bookings, properties, hotel quotes, package rates, vacation rentals, flights, activities, all of it is right here. All you got to do, this is just go and take a look, research. You'll find your answers so much faster this way, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and play this video. It's about 8 minutes long. I'd like you to watch it. And a lot of you who have been around a little bit will probably learn a little something from this video. I know I did when I watched it earlier today. There's a couple things in there that I just had forgotten about, okay? So let's give it a shot.
Expedia Tap was exclusively developed with traveler advisors in mind, boasting features that help deliver amazing service to travelers. Features such as rich content, powerful filters, property quotes, reporting, and agent support. What's more, the variety of high-quality, directly sourced inventory from around the world helps you inspire travelers to find what they need, so they keep coming back to you. Access to the widest range of properties, flights, car rentals, ground transportation, and activities, with real-time content all in one place. After you sign in, you will land on the home page. From here, you can access the Tap menu, where you can view reports, access quotes, and view your incentive plan. The incentive plan provides you with information on the commission you will earn by booked product. The home page gives you access to our booking widget, where you start your searches from. It's also the launch pad to many agent tools, such as the Notification Center, where you will find important messages relating to your account. Depending on the country you are based, you may also get access to the Expedia Tap Rewards, where you can earn points for every eligible booking and redeem them for gift cards from popular retailers. Travel agent tools that allow you to manage your quotes, access trips, or build customizable itineraries, and your agency dashboard, where you can monitor your agency tier and access booking reports. If your agency is eligible, under deferred payments, you'll be able to stay on top of your available balance. Deferred payment is a feature that allows you to secure property bookings in advance and select the payment date. We also encourage you to explore our additional resources. Like the Expedia Tap Academy, you're one place to find out how to make the most of Expedia Tap. Read the latest news, including new product features, browse guides and video tutorials, and more. Back to the Expedia Tap homepage. In our search widget, selecting each of the tabs unlocks access to our vast inventory. These will vary based on which country or point of sale your agency is located in. Let's start with properties. Expedia Tap has access to over 3 million types of accommodation, including vacation rentals. When you book with Expedia, you can select the type of rate you want, standalone or our high-valued package rates. From the results screen, you can use several options to find the perfect property. By using the map view, you can navigate to find the ideal location. You can change the sort order to display by price, recommended, distance, guest, or star rating, or choose from over 20 filters to narrow down your results. For example, you can filter by property name, by properties that pay you the most commission, or by payment option. Once a property is selected, our unbeaten rich content displays detailed property information, including pictures, policies, amenities, and location. Clicking Select a Room displays all available rooms, including a description of the room type and cancellation policy. Under the Tap Information menu, you can view the commission you will earn. Remember that Expedia Tap pays commission on the total cost of the reservation, including taxes and fees charged at the time of booking, which means you earn more. Once you've found the right room, you can go ahead and reserve it. If the traveler is not ready to make a decision, you can share the quote by selecting Generate Quote. Under the Quotation tool, add your agency information, create a quote name, and type the traveler's name to save the quote. You can access your saved quotes at any point from the Tap menu. Within the quote, you can also choose to show or hide elements before sending it to the traveler. Back in the room selection screen, once you click Reserve, some properties allow you to choose a preferred payment option. With Pay Now, payment is taken immediately by Expedia Tap in your currency, or you can select to pay later at the property in the local currency. Some agencies may have additional payment options, such as the ability to defer payment, to pay in installments, or pay by bank transfer. Depending on the country your agency is in, you may be able to add an agency service charge to your hotel booking. You can add up to a maximum of 30% of the total booking value. An agency service charge can only be applied to hotel bookings with standalone or package rates. Once booked, you will receive an instant confirmation with no need to check the reservation with the property. If you want to unlock further discounts, you can use package rates. These rates offer discounts of up to 20% off in thousands of properties and are available when you have booked another travel component for the same trip, which does not have to be booked on Expedia Tap. As an example, you could offer these rates if you booked a traveler a cruise and you need accommodation for the night before departure. Depending on your agency location, Expedia Tap may also offer additional products, such as flights, packages, car hire, activities, and ground transportation, all easily booked in a few minutes. Let's look at packages. Booking a package via Expedia Tap saves you time, as all travel elements are booked under one transaction. What's more, you earn commission on the total cost of the package, including the flights. Booking a package is easy. Add the travel elements to be booked. Follow each of the prompts, making the selections that best suit your travelers. Now you discovered how to book some of our products, you may be wondering where to access saved quotes and reservations. On the home page, scroll down to the travel agent tools. Click on Manage Quotes. You can manage any saved quotes from this screen and even book directly from the quote.
Check this out.
Just remember that the cost is not guaranteed until booked, so the room may have increased in cost. From the travel agent tools, you can also create customizable itineraries for properties. Click on Create Travel Documents and edit the itinerary with the information you want to display to travelers. You can then export into different formats or send via email. To access reservations, go to the Tap toolbar and click on Trips. Here you will find a list of all reservations booked. You can access each trip to make any changes to it. One thing we know is important to you is the level of support you get from us. That's why at ExpediaTap, we have multiple ways for you to get help. If you need help in learning how to do something on ExpediaTap, your quickest solution is to access the ExpediaTap Academy. Use the search box to type what you're looking for, or browse our extensive step-by-step guides menu for comprehensive instructions with screenshots and video tutorials to aid you. Most things related to bookings can be easily done by you online, but our TAP Help Center and virtual agent can assist you further should you need to. From the home page or the trips page, click on the floating help icon at the bottom of your screen to launch the virtual agent. Select from existing bookings and choose what you need to do. Please note the virtual agent tool may not be available in your local language or country yet. If you still can't find what you need, you can always type "connect to an agent" within the chat, and you will be directed to a live agent who will be happy to help you further. If you need to speak to our support teams over the phone, navigate to the account menu in the toolbar. When ringing us, pay particular attention to the options since only our reservations agent support team can support with reservation queries. If you have questions about your agency account, such as commissions or any query that goes beyond reservations, you can reach out to our ever helpful account management team by pressing option 1. Alternatively, you can use the email provided to reach this team. The email listed should not be used for reservation queries. This concludes our overview of ExpediaTap. Remember, for detailed training on the features included in this video and many more, check the ExpediaTap Academy.
What? I have a question. How many of you actually didn't know or haven't thought about the fact that a supplier like this has all of these resources at your fingertips? How many of you didn't know that? Anybody? Yeah. I know. Vax has this, beds on almost all of our suppliers have a section like this where you can easily and quickly find answers to your questions so you don't have to wait. Give you an example. You are, I don't know, it's Friday night. It's late and you're working, as I often work at night. I don't know why I do that. It's been my habit for many years, but I can't reach out to a booking advisor late at night when I have a question. I can't reach out to the support team unless it's an emergency. So I encourage you to spend time, become a professional travel agent. And the way you do that is through these kinds of incredible training that's available to you at your feet. Not only training, but just answers to questions. FAQs, frequently asked questions, are often in these websites as well. So, yeah, Derek, great tools. Rohani, I'm glad you thought that was awesome. Barbara didn't know. It's not your fault. I mean, it's look, Jacob and Edwin, gosh dang, they have worked so hard to put as much data and information at your fingertips as possible. But the travel industry is a big business. And so there's a lot going on. And look how easy it is. And what is the key word here? Research. Research. And if you're going to be good at what you do and you want to maximize your income and your commissions, you gotta get good at it. And this is how you do it. Okay. All right. I hope you guys all enjoyed that. That brings me to the next subject that I'd like to encourage you, and that is spend some time practicing in these suppliers' sites. I don't know about you, but I did not want to contact a client from the client list until I was able to feel confident that I knew how to kind of work my way around a website. A supplier website. So man, practice, do 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, create quotes in TAP, for example, like they showed that you can do. Send an email to yourself so you can see what the quotes look like, and do this 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times, however many times it takes for you to feel like, okay, I think I can do this, and then contact the clients. Okay. I mean, let's see. So I'm not gonna harp on that. Um, it's funny. The reason I'm really pushing on this today, and I'm making this a key subject matter of my call, is because I asked in the last few days 10 new agents if they even know, or if they've ever practiced, done a practice booking, and all 10 of them said no. And I asked if they knew that there was even more resources outside of the agent dashboard, and they said no. And so I decided I'm going to talk about this today, because this is how I got successful. I did the research. I spent time in here. There wasn't a booking advisor or anyone I could reach out to other than support. And by the way, they're great. They have answers to lots of questions, and much of it booking related sometimes. But the reality is, I didn't have that kind of. I didn't have a person like me to ask some of these booking related questions. So I dug and I researched, and I got good at it fairly quickly, and did so well that Jacob and Edwin asked me to step in and help out as a booking advisor. And again, that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Okay, Rouhani, makes sense. David, I'm glad you think that's great advice. I'm really happy about that. Okay, so let's go take a look at some questions here. How do you politely go about asking what someone's budget is? I wouldn't be afraid of that question. I ask it all the time. As you're developing a relationship, you want to establish a relationship that is built on trust and caring for your client, for listening to them, and understanding their needs and their wants and their desires, and addressing those. And so you have to listen, and you have to ask questions. I get emails some daily from people going, from agents asking, my client wants to go to Puerto Rico. What's the best time of year to go to Puerto Rico? Well, did we have a discussion with the client about when they want to go? And did you know all you have to do is to type into Google best time of year to go to Costa Rica, and it'll tell you? And so what did that mean? What did you do? You cared enough about your client to ask them the question, when do they want to go? They're not sure. And so you're going to take it upon yourself to just simply type into Google and find out when is the best time of year to go to Costa Rica. Okay. So asking them, while I'm, Mr. Client, while I am researching and finding the best options and pricing and rates for you and your family for your trip to Costa Rica, what is there? Did you guys have a range of a budget in mind so that I can be cognizant of that and stay there, or stay within that range? What do you think? Does that sound nice? Does that sound like I'm being rude or a little obnoxious, or maybe? Yeah, Corey. No, I care. I don't want to waste a lot of time throwing options out at a client who where I'd have no clue, where their budget is. Now, you don't always have to say budget too. You could say 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. What are you looking at as far as a class of a room or class of hotel? Unfortunately, not everyone knows what that means, though. When you ask 3, 4, 5, I mean, sometimes you have people who have caviar dreams on a Kentucky Fried Chicken, budget. So I like to get into the heart of the matter and ask those questions so that I don't waste mine or their time. Okay, that's a long-winded answer to your question about asking about someone's budget. All right. Sherry is asking, I have several friends I am working with now. Can I add them to the CRM now with a official booking, without an official booking yet, so I can add to my calendar for follow-ups? Absolutely. Right. So you don't have to have a booking or a trip even lined up for someone. If you know you've had a discussion and there's a friend of yours or an acquaintance or somebody you met, and they said, man, I'm definitely going to contact you in the future as soon as I decide I'm going to go on a trip. I'm calling you, Curt. I'm like, okay, great. You know what? I'm going to probably input that the client's name, phone number, whatever information I have on them. I'm going to put that in the CRM, and I'm going to toggle it to remind me in, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, just to follow up, touch base. Hey, we were talking last month, John, and I thought I'd give you a call back here a month later, or text or email, and you need some ideas about somewhere to go. That's how you do it. So yeah, input information into the CRM and use it as a tool to keep you on track, to remind you when to do things. Okay, it's an amazing tool. All right, Sherry, I hope that answered your question. Okay, Shameen, I'll answer this one. Shemaine, you know what? I'm sorry if I don't pronounce names correctly. I really am. But anyway, what part comes first when booking your first client? Do we have to add them to the CRM first? The answer is, if you're working with a client in your client list, they'll automatically populate into your CRM as you select a client. If your client is from outside, somebody you found on your own or has been referred to you, the first thing you do is put their basic information into the CRM, as I had just described a second ago. The next thing you do, once you have communicated and figured out their trip, is you're going to put the trip into the CRM, and then you're going to put a booking into the trip once you've completed a booking, or multiple bookings for one trip. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, what else we got here? Barbara, I'm sorry for being a boogaboo. I'm sorry for being a boogaboo. I have never boogaboo. I've never done a website. Where do I start? This is all new to me. Okay, Barbara, there are lots of places that you can check out online that have templated website programs. I think Edwin talks about that maybe in some of his training videos. I can't remember. Here I am. I just said I go look at training videos, but I don't remember. I haven't seen that one in a while. But I use GoDaddy.com, and it was pretty easy for me to build. It doesn't take much. And I always say this for those of you who are brand new and you hear us talking about building a website, having a logo and all this sort of thing. It is not critical for you to have these things. You can still succeed and do fine, do well without all that. So it's not required. Do not get discouraged if you hear us talking about these things. It's just that, some of us have decided to take it to the next level. But you have to walk before you run, right? So get your feet wet, get started, use the client list to find and book some your first few clients, and then decide if you want to kick it up another notch and go that route. That's totally up to you. Okay. Boogaboo. Oh my gosh, that was funny. Mark Kinsey. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about this website thing. My website has nothing to do with BWJ. Okay, you know, I have two roles. One is I am a BWJ agent, just like you. And so a good portion of my time each week is spent building my client base, building my business. The rest of my time is spent here with you and helping to support new agents as a booking advisor. So those are the two things that I do. All right. Maurice, where can we find the scripts? Hey, Maurice, remember earlier in the meeting, I showed you where you go to your agent portal, and in the top right section, there is a your name and an image that you may have put in there. You click on that, hit help, and go find those scripts. Okay, you can do it. Research. Okay, here's a good question. How do you determine the best cruise line for a client who has no preference? Well, I don't have time to get too deep into this, but we're always going to suggest the first thing that you do is go to cruise. Well, I'm going to stop. Does anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me where do we go to start the research on a cruise? Sherry, you got it. Amy, Sherry, TripAdvisor's not too bad, but yeah, Alma, cruisecritic.com. Now, don't get confused here. You use cruisecritic.com just the same as you use Google Flights. You don't book anything on those websites. You just do a quick research to find out what's available, what options, and generally the rates. You don't quote anything from those two sites. You can ballpark it. You know, you can give somebody a ballpark price or quote, so to speak, as you're chatting with them. Again, budget. So if I have two cruises that fit the description of what the client's looking for out of LA, for example, they want a 5 to 6 day or 4 to 6 day cruise. And I go in to cruisecritic.com and I just type in 4 to 6 day cruise leaving Los Angeles the month of August. Okay. And it comes up with two options. All right. And it shows me the price. Initially, it shows the cheapest price, right? The cheapest price is in an inside stateroom. Inside stateroom means, and the reason why it's the cheapest, there's no windows. You can't even see outside of the cabin. I don't know about you, but I would be claustrophobic. I wouldn't want that. So you can't quote that price. You have to click a little button in cruisecritic.com. It'll open up and it'll show you, and we'll demonstrate this in future bookings. I also want to encourage future bookings, future Zoom calls with me, but I want to encourage you to get on Jacob's calls because oftentimes he goes through this as well. But anyway, cruisecritic.com, you can click a little button and it'll show you the price, a general price for the inside room, a room with a porthole or view, a balcony, et cetera, et cetera. And those prices are different. So you got to be careful when you're throwing numbers out at a client and all you've done is look at cruisecritic.com. Okay. So now you see what I'm saying? You narrow it down to one or two choices in a general price range. And that's how you determine, is this going to be a Royal Caribbean, a Viking cruise, or is it going to be a Carnival cruise? I don't know. It just depends on what the client's looking for. Okay. All right, that another long-winded answer to your question, but I hope it was helpful. We got a few more minutes here. How can an agent get a tour of a ship? Well, Barbara, that brings up a little subject here that some of you, well, most of you should find quite exciting. And then that is, as you work within the suppliers, you may find yourself getting an invitation to go on a FAM trip. So if you don't know what a FAM trip is, F as in Frank, A, M as in Mary, FAM. That means familiarization trip. And this is where suppliers or resorts will invite travel agents to come on a trip, usually about three nights, 4 days. You can't bring a spouse with you. It's a little bit structured. They're going to want to do what they call site inspections during your time there. All expenses paid except for the flight. Usually, you just pay the flight, and then everything else is taken care of. And then they bring in agents from around the country, and you spend 3 days together. Often meeting with the general manager of a resort, their wedding staff and that sort of thing. And I've been on 2 of them so far. I went to Jamaica. I went to Azul Beach Resort and Negril, which is an hour and a half drive from Montego Bay. It was great. I had an incredible time. And then recently I spent 3 nights with 14 women. I was the only guy. Women agents, 14 lady agents, and that was Margaritaville in Cancun. I had an absolute blast there, and I'll share some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on at a fam trip. I'm going to share that with y'all in some future in a future Zoom meeting. Okay, I've got pictures and videos and things that I took. I'll be sharing that with you. So, how can an agent get a tour of a ship? Well, you hope to get invited for one of these fam trips. That's what I'm going to tell you. All right. I think in the future, I might research how to better get a better chance to get selected for one of these fam trips. Okay, we'll talk about that at another date. All right, we are at the top of the hour. I'm going to try to get through a couple more if it's okay with you guys. Barbara asks, do you feel the first year of your business you made a loss? No. No. And I reinvested some of my commissions into a trade show booth, and I go to bridal and wedding shows, because one of my niches is destination weddings and honeymoons. So even after reinvesting some of my commissions, no, I can't say that I operated at a loss. No way, man. That first year for me, this whole year that I've been with BWJ, it's been amazing. So there's the answer to the question. I'll take a couple more. Okay, DDM. Okay, I'm going to share here in just a second. Well, no, I'll do it right now. One moment. Let me do this. All right. Oh, I want to share this with you guys. I like this. I might start putting in a quote here in each one of my meetings. Here's one. I'm not just a travel agent. I'm a magician who turns dreams into itineraries. What do you think about that? Sometimes I like to have fun too. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Before you engage the client, you contact support at bwjagents.com. After you engage a client, you can reach out to me at Curt at bwjagents.com. Okay, let me repeat that. This is important. Before you've engaged the client and you have questions, whatever they are, you need to reach out to support at bwjagents.com. Once you've made contact with a client and you're starting to work on a trip, an itinerary, and you've run into a snag and you need some help, you want to send me an email first. I'll tell you why. I can't tell you how many times. And by the way, I'm pretty good with my emails. I try to not end the day with anything left in my queue, best I can. Sometimes it gets a little hectic and it is what it is. But I usually respond to my emails. It's the best way to get to me. But you need to provide me all the details of the trip that you're working on. Don't leave anything out. If there's 5 people, how many are adults, how many are children, and have those children, what are their ages? That's minimum information I need to know, especially if you're booking an all-inclusive resort. So send all the details to me via email. Lots of times I can answer you back with a simple answer or a link to where you can find the answer for yourself. And that was the subject matter of my call today, was how to better help yourself. And so please try that. Please do the research. Try to find those answers on your own as best you can. And when you run into a snag, that's when, after you've reached a client, that's when you reach out to me. Okay. All right, folks. It's been a beautiful afternoon here in Western Oregon. I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the questions. I appreciate the effort that a lot of you are making. I want to end this call by once again encouraging you to research and search and find these questions that much faster on your own if you can, and then reach out to me and then reach out to support team if you can't find those answers. Okay. I hope you have a great rest of the day. For those of you that have a day, some of you are going to be at night in the East Coast. It's been great. I'll see you guys next week. Last thing I want to encourage you, go to your calendar in your agent dashboard and consistently check. Well, you know what? I'm going to go do this. What the heck? One second. I want to show you. I want to make sure that you utilize the resources that are available to you. So here's the calendar. Everybody see this? Okay. And the reason I'm sharing with this is I'm not really showing off. That's not the intent here. When you see the yellow, all that yellow are trips that I got for the month. Okay, so that's what yours is going to look like as you build your client base and you start having a whole bunch of trips lined up for your clients. That's what the yellow is in there. Okay. So here's what I want to encourage you every single week. Where are we today? We're at the 17th, and you've got my booking support calls every Tuesday and Thursday at 3:00. Okay. Then every Sunday now, it used to be every other Sunday, but now every Sunday it appears, Jacob and Edwin. You got to get on these calls. They're so informative and so much fun, where they talk about the latest industry and destination news, all kinds of updates, the latest goings on. You can really stay in touch and in tune with what's happening at BWJ in general every Sunday at noon Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Jacob's support calls are every Monday and Wednesday at 5. And he is the master. I encourage you to get on his calls as much as you can. Recently, we've added Gabriella. She is the BDM at Expedia Tap for us, and she has agreed to be on with us at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every Tuesday. So go check her out. She's great. And then Edwin, check it out. He's got Master Your Agent Portal and Tools with Edwin. That's every single Wednesday. What time? 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. And then finally, my booking support again on Thursday. And then we end the week on Fridays with Downtown Travel with Bill. And Downtown Travel is one of our air flight suppliers. Okay. All right, folks, that is all I got for today. I hope you have a great rest of the week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. See y'all next week. Ciao, everybody. Bye.